Hey guys, so I've been seeing a lot of debate on the difference between functional training and traditional training. So, the way that I would define functional training is you're using movement patterns instead of you're training movement patterns instead of training particular muscle groups or muscles. So, traditional training would have more isolation exercises such as bicep curl, hamstring curl, leg extension, stuff like that. Whereas a functional training uh, would be using hip centric versus hip centric and knee centric exercises. So marching with holding a kettlebell or something, or using a box jump, which would be knee centric, or even hip ups or deadlifts and stuff like that would be functional training because you'll be focusing on using a hip centric exercise, a knee centric exercise, a rotation exercise, a isolateral exercise, that kind of thing. So you're focusing on more of the kinesiology side, the movement patterns that you would traditionally see being described in kinesiology course or something like that. Whereas traditional training, you'd be really focusing on the on getting as many reps, getting that maximal potential for a particular muscle group. If that makes any sense. They're both completely valid, but I feel like the more isolated the exercises, the more it fragments the muscle groups as doing particular patterns. So you may have a lot of strength, you may be very strong with particular muscle groups, but you will be more fragmented overall when you consider the entire kinetic chain. So say you're training, say you have really tight calf muscle or something like that, you would be focusing on that particular calf muscle. So you'd be doing strength, something to either increase the eccentric strength or trying to improve strength in the calf muscle or the intrinsic muscles of the foot or something like that. When maybe you would want to be working on something that's more approaching the functionality of that muscle. So you might use something that incorporates more of the whole body. So a box squat or something like that. So something where you're going down, but at the same time you're using that foot flexion to stretch the muscle eccentrically. So as you're coming down, sure you're coming down, but you're also lengthening the calf as you're coming down because that knee's going forward, that flexion's increasing, that dorsiflexion is increasing in that range. So just using little things like that to kind of keep an overall perception of the of how things work in a functional manner, as opposed to a scientifically correct, also scientifically correct isolation exercise, which is often seen in physical therapy. It's very important in therapy sessions because the traditional training is more about increasing the numbers of that particular muscle, and therefore is very applicable to therapy, physical therapy sessions, and would be a great addition to say someone tore a bicep and they just got surgery on it or something like that. So now it's all reattached and everything, and now they're trying to strengthen that muscle, strengthen that particular muscle, because all the other muscles they're strong enough right now, and they will strengthen even more as the bicep heals up and gets that strength and that range of motion back. So, like I said, it's not a bad idea to do traditional training, more traditional training, but it's not going to increase the entire body unit as a whole as quickly, because let's face it, not everyone has 2 hours a day to be training every single muscle group that you want. So you're not going to be getting the serratus anterior. You're going to, as efficiently as if you were doing like a plyo push-up, where you're just bah, 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 and just getting that full forward shrug. So it really just depends on your need, guys. But if you have any questions or comments, concerns, like the video if you liked it, dislike if you dislike it, and I'll get something else coming out pretty soon. Bye.